Hi, my name is Manmeet Singh, and I'm an international student studying Bachelor's of Commerce, majoring in accounting. Talking about my industry experience, I've interned at BlueScope as a central reporting and governance intern.
My name's Brandon McConnell. I'm currently in my fourth year of a Bachelor of Commerce, doing a double major in finance and accounting. And at the end of 2021, during summer, I completed a 3.5-month virtual internship with a Korean fashion and design company.
So I'm interning with the central reporting and governance team. So basically, we look at the financial statements, do the financial analysis, forecast, and all sort of accounting stuff you can think of. And it's really an eye-opener for me, because being in university, I never got a chance to look how vast operations, considering a company like BlueScope that is a multinational in different countries, how vast it could be, and what sort of departments they have, and what is the work culture there, what is the corporate culture. So it's been a really great experience.
I think for me, one of the highlights would definitely be the ability to sort of work with an overseas company and get a sense of an overseas sort of commercial operating environment. Also working in a virtual capacity was like a good skill that I got to practice with over that time. That's obviously the hybrid work environment is definitely more prominent since COVID, and it was a great skill to sort of develop. And I had a really good experience with my buddy in the company that I was paired up with. So we still keep in contact now, and obviously that leads to connections and a lot more networking opportunities down the track for just advice or potential job opportunities. So yeah, that'd definitely have to be the highlight.
Firstly, I'd say it's a big one for me, that getting to know the industry experts, learning with them, staying with them. But more sort of, I really benefit from the analytical softwares they use there. And it's just like, I had the basic skills as an accounting intern, but learning those specific softwares gave me I'd say, a bit of edge in terms of being more employable, I'd say. Except that I really benefit from the professional development that it's being offered during my internship, because you have all those change management, leadership skills, those sort of meetups, and that are helping me out. Yeah, it has made me really prepared in terms of going out in the workforce, because it's just the fact that I'm really more confident in approaching people now, going up to them, telling what I have done, and having strong experience in terms of accounting specifically, and more sort of people skill, interpersonal skills, and critical thinking skills, problem-solving skills, those sort of skills that I developed through the internship. I'd see all of these will come handy in terms of giving me an edge when I go out for jobs.
Yeah, so I think the first and most important one would definitely be that ability to sort of work in that remote environment. Obviously, getting a job out of uni, you might find yourself working in sort of that hybrid model where it's a bit of both, the in-person and online. But yeah, getting the skill to work remotely would definitely be the most important thing that I took away from the internship. But obviously all the other things that come with it on the side, like being able to communicate over emails, communicate over phone calls, Zoom calls, whatever medium is used, just being able to sort of build relationships with people that you work with, whether that be your manager in more of a formal way, or just building friendships and sort of building that common ground with the people that you work with. I think that translates very well for future job opportunities. And I don't think you quite get that just from studying inside the classroom. So I feel like putting yourself in that position where you're immersed in a work environment, puts you miles ahead of the crowd when you're looking to enter the job market later on.
Actually, yes. So this is interesting, because I was really inclined to become an auditor, and I've been focusing on that since I was literally in my high school. But going into the internship and getting to know what a real life auditing is, and getting to know different aspects of that particular discipline, I felt that wasn't something for me. And now I'm really more into doing accounting, still pursuing accounting, but more sort of using it as a strategic planner or maybe going in the higher roles?
I'd say that if anything, the virtual internship, like an international internship, sort of reinforced the direction that I wanted to go in. So obviously the company that I went into was actually a fashion and design company, which might seem a bit weird, but I went in as a finance intern and I sort of realized that the basics, although there was lots of differences, it was very, very similar at that ground level. So if anything, it reinforced and reaffirmed to me that I've made the right career path for my own interests, and yeah, it was great.
If you have an internship experience and you're going out there for applying jobs, I'd say it's more impressive, and if somebody hires you, if an employer hires you, they know that you've already been in the workplace, you know those skills, how to be in a workspace, how to have those etiquettes, the basic people skills.
So speaking from my experience with Buzz 300 and the virtual internship program, I think one of the most important things to emphasize is that the graduate employment market is so competitive for jobs, particularly in the business field. For myself, in the finance discipline, I noticed that it was very competitive, and it's programs like these that really allow you to set yourself apart from other graduates that are trying to compete for a limited number of jobs. So I think being able to have this international experience, this ability to demonstrate a remote working capacity or hybrid working capacity is very important. Sets you apart from other graduates. To be honest, I would directly attribute. I received a graduate job offer to Deloitte, and I would directly attribute the virtual internship program as being one of the key contributors to me getting that role. Just some of the answers that I was able to provide in the interviews, some of the experiences that I already had and was able to provide in situations put me way ahead of some of the people that I was sort of up against. And even talking with the team now, getting ready to start with them, obviously there's lots of different cultures, backgrounds, nationalities, and just sort of having that experience working with one other group has sort of made me feel a lot comfortable working with or going to be working with those groups going forward in the future.
It's always good to have corporate experience on you. Even it's 15 days, it's still worth enough, and it gives you a quick introduction of how your anticipated workspace is gonna be, and the way they let you choose what sort of workspace you wanna work in. And if it doesn't work out, you still have the opportunity to reconsider your job applications, and you can plan your future job perspectives according to that experience.
Yeah, so it's quite easy to say, but I think you just need to throw yourself out there. I think as students, we're very fortunate at UAW to have things like the NCP grants and support of programs like Buzz 300 that give you, the full support and package to go through and do an internship like this. And I think when you see things like this come across, whether it's emails or newsletters from the careers office, I think you really just need to take it on board, have that 5 minutes just to read through, make the inquiries. Even if you're not 100% sure, just ask them questions and just to see if that's something that you can see yourself doing, because you never know, it might end up leading to the career path or an opportunity later on down the track. But the best advice that I could give is just to take advantage of the significant opportunities that we're given as students here at UAW.